Any success ever achieved is simply the accumulation of tiny habits done daily. So then, why do you expect to achieve success while neglecting your own habits? That is the question most people do not want to answer. They want the result, but they keep ignoring the small actions that create that life. They keep waiting for one massive moment, one sudden shift. But life does not usually change like that. A life changes quietly. It changes through what you repeat. It changes through the small promises you either keep or break. And that is why your habits matter. Because your habits are not small. They are only quiet. And quiet things can still shape an entire life. Every day you are voting for a future. Every choice is casting a vote. Every repeated action is building a life. Either the life you want or the life you don't want. So which life are you building? You are either becoming someone you can trust or someone who keeps proving that his own word means nothing. And that is where confidence begins to rise or fall. Not in what you say about yourself, but in what your actions keep proving. You keep wondering why your confidence is low. But how many promises have you broken to yourself? How many times did you say you would start and then delay? That does something to a man. It teaches his mind not to believe him. It makes self-doubt louder. Because deep down he knows the truth. He knows when he has not been consistent with the things that matter. He knows when he has abandoned the work. And a man who keeps breaking promises to himself ends up disliking and distrusting himself. If you keep neglecting your habits, do not be surprised when your future looks neglected too. Because your life is the compounding result of your choices. Not just the big choices. The ordinary ones. The ones that seem too small to matter. That is the danger. Most people do not destroy their future in one obvious moment. They do it slowly. They do it through small delays, small excuses, promises broken until breaking promises becomes normal. Then one day they look around and wonder why their life feels nothing like what they wanted. But the answer was there the whole time. It was in the days they wasted, the work they postponed. It was in the moments where they told themselves it did not matter. But it did matter. It always mattered. Because one day rarely changes a life by itself. But one day repeated enough times becomes a life. One lazy day can easily become two. Two can become a week. A week can become a pattern. And a pattern can become a prison. That is why you cannot treat your habits casually. You are not just choosing what to do today. You are training who you will become tomorrow. And if you understand that, then even the smallest action becomes important. Because every small act of discipline is proof. And proof is what rebuilds confidence. Confidence does not come from shouting words you do not believe. It does not come from pretending you are already the person you want to be. It comes from evidence. It comes from the quiet memory of all the times you did what you said you would do. You keep the promise once. Something shifts. You keep it again. The mind starts listening. And you keep it long enough, the doubt starts to disappear. That is how a man outworks his self-doubt. By giving himself evidence that the doubt is not in charge. And the more proof he collects, the harder it becomes for weakness to convince him that he is still the same man. That is why small habits create big outcomes. They do not only build the result, they build the identity of the person capable of reaching it. A man who keeps showing up becomes someone who shows up. And once that identity takes root, life begins to change from the inside out. But it starts small. It starts with today. It starts with the thing you already know you need to do. So stop waiting to feel ready. Most people think they need the right mood before they begin. They think they need perfect energy, perfect timing. But the perfect condition is usually created after the work begins. You start tired, then energy comes. You start uncertain, then clarity comes. That is why action matters, because action changes the outcome. It breaks the spell of hesitation. It tells your mind that the day will not be ruled by feeling. And that is where separation begins. Because easy days do not separate people. Anyone can work when the work feels good. Anyone can show up when motivation is high. But the hard days reveal the truth. The tired days, the distracted days, the days where you have less time than you wanted. Those are the days where you gain an edge. Because most people disappear when conditions are imperfect. And if you can show up there, even in a smaller way, you begin separating yourself. You may not always be feeling your best, but you must protect the habit. If you cannot do the full hour, do 10 minutes. Something is still better than nothing. Slow progress is still better than no progress. And over time, those small steps begin to gather weight, like snow. At first it looks harmless. A little effort, a quiet decision, a small promise kept. But keep stacking it. Keep repeating it. And what began as something small can become an avalanche. That is compounding. That is why the tiny habits matter, because they become powerful when they refuse to stop. The world belongs to people who can keep working without seeing immediate results. That is not easy, because the mind wants proof quickly. It wants signs. It wants visible change. But some of the most important work happens before anything is visible. Roots grow before fruit appears. Discipline grows before results speak. So do not quit just because the outcome is still hidden. Hidden does not mean wasted. It just means you are in progress. And progress requires you showing up every day. Although consistency may not guarantee success, inconsistency guarantees you will not reach it. Therefore, the only path forward is to be consistent. You may not control every outcome. You may not control the timing. But you can control whether you stay in the game. And staying in the game matters more than people realize. Because not quitting is an important skill. Most people do not lose because they were incapable. They lose because they stopped before the compounding became visible. They stopped when the work still looked small. But if you keep going, you give life more chances to respond. If you keep the habit alive, the habit keeps building you. That is why you must protect the chain. But missing once can happen. You are human. Life will interfere. Energy will drop. Unexpected things will happen. But never let one miss become a new identity. Never let one skip day become two if you can help it. Because the first miss is a mistake. The second one can become a habit. And habits are what shape your life. So return quickly. Come back before the old habits take root. But this is not about perfection. It is about direction. It is about becoming the kind of person who does not let one bad day become a lost season. The kind of person who understands that a small habit protected today can save a future from collapse. The next year will pass either way. So will you waste it on old habits? Or will you finally decide to change? A year from now, you will still arrive somewhere. The only question is whether you will arrive by design or by neglect. The days and months will pass regardless. The future is coming, whether you prepare for it or not. So what are you building while time is moving? What habits are you repeating while the calendar turns? What kind of man are you becoming while you wait for life to change? Someday is not a real day. It is where dreams go when a man is afraid to start. You cannot build your life in someday. You can only build it now. With this hour. With this decision. Do not let dreams stay dreams because you never took the first step. Beginning is what most people keep avoiding. They wait until they feel better. But if you always put stuff off until tomorrow, you will never arrive at your goal because tomorrow never comes. So just start the new habit today. Think of your goals. Now think of a habit you need to achieve those goals. And start. If you want the life, you have to accept the lifestyle. But that is where many people are dishonest. They want the outcome, but they do not want the daily life required to build it. And that is why they stay stuck. Because the outcome is not separate from the lifestyle. The outcome is the lifestyle, repeated long enough to become visible. So ask yourself honestly, how do I want to spend my days? Because a goal that requires a daily life you hate may become another prison. You need to build habits that move you toward the future, while also making you respect the way you are living now. This does not mean every day will feel good. It does not mean the work will always be easy. It means the process has to be something you are willing to commit to, something you can return to. You do not need to make the habit dramatic. Just make it repeatable. Make the task small enough that you will actually do it. Because a habit that looks impressive but never happens is useless. But a small habit repeated daily can change everything. Read the page. Study the skill. Make the call. Take the step. Then return tomorrow. That is how the future stops being a fantasy and starts becoming construction. And when self-doubt rises, outwork it. Do not sit there debating with every dark thought. Move. Do something harder than your current state. Snap yourself back through action. Because adversity gets stronger the longer you hold it in your head. But action takes power away from the problem. It reminds you that you are not helpless. And sometimes one small act is enough to break the spell. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not who someone else is today. Someone else may be further ahead. Someone else may have started earlier. But none of that changes your responsibility. Your responsibility is the next step in front of you. Your responsibility is to become better than the man you were yesterday. So do not compare your chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 10. And if you stick with the habit and keep showing up, the distance between who you are and who you could be starts to close. Not all at once, but enough. Enough to feel your confidence return. Enough to know that something is happening even before the world sees it. That is why small habits matter. They are not just tasks. They are promises. They are votes. They are the quiet architecture of the life you are building. So stop waiting for one massive change. Respect the small daily actions, because those actions are where the future is being decided. Any success ever achieved is simply the accumulation of tiny habits done daily. So stop neglecting your own. Stop treating small choices like they have no consequence. Stop waiting for someday. Start now. Start small. Just start. And once you start, protect it. When you miss once, return before the miss becomes a pattern. Because the next year will pass either way. And one day, the habits you repeat now will stand in front of you as a life. Make sure it is a life you recognize and respect. Make sure it is a life built by discipline instead of neglect. Small habits become big outcomes. So do the small thing today. Do it quietly. Do it even if nobody sees it. Because the world may not notice the habit while it is small, but your future will. And if you stay consistent long enough, the life you are building in silence will eventually become impossible to ignore.